and help with this initiative to volunteer for registering to vote. Thank you. I just want to thank all of our partners, and I appreciate you all showing up, always showing up. And so often we have been working in silos in this community. And what we have decided is no more of that. Even if you don't see them here, they are partners with us. If their mission is the same, if they're focused on the same, if they are about changing the way business is done in this city, in this community, and in this country, then they are partners with us. We are standing here today because our lives matter. Black lives matter. Black votes matter. And we are going to protest to power. We are so thankful for everyone who has been engaged in helping us. Donovan raised a good point. There are more than 100,000 people who will be reclaimed on the voting polls this year. We have already started making those phone calls, and in fact, Frost Brown Todd is here today because they have actually volunteered attorneys to help us reach out to some of those folks, so we are grateful for them. I don't know if they want to say a word, if there's someone here, if you'd like to. She does not want to say anything, but we want to acknowledge that law firm because usually we have very unusual partners at the Louisville Urban League because the goal is really just to get the work done. I also want to acknowledge the work of Lanita Baker. We all see the case, but there's more to her than that. You should remember that she was the Advocacy Award winner for last year for the Louisville Urban League. She has probably donated more than 200 hours of her time to help us expunge records. She has been the attorney who has represented more people in this community for free to have their records expunged than anybody else. Certainly I have gone to court, others have gone to court, but none of us have matched the time that Sam Aguiar and Lanita Baker have given. So I just want to put a whole picture together for you, for everybody out there, and say to us, people have died for black people to have the right to vote. People are still dying because some of us are not voting, because some of us are not using our voices. You do not have the right to be silent, and staying home is silence. So I beg you, get online now, register to vote. If you need help with it, call one of these organizations. We will help you with anything that we can. Get online, request your mail-in ballot, show up early, but do me one favor, make sure you cast one vote. It is illegal to cast more than one. I think we heard from the White House that maybe you want to try this and try that. We're not doing that. One vote for every person, every citizen, every resident that has the right to vote. Please show up and vote. Thank you all. Thank you to all of our partners here and to our community for making this a record-breaking year. I really do believe that. Thank you. But we'll take questions and anybody here can answer.
Sadiqa, I know the Jefferson County Clerk put out their list of voting polling places for this year. Have you seen that list? Do you think it's enough places? Are they in the right parts of the community? What were your thoughts?
I have seen the list of polling places in Jefferson County, and I think there are enough. I think if we do what we're supposed to do as a community, we will not see people at 5:59 banging on the doors of any polling location, because the point is to say to folks, let's go vote early. What I do not think anyone does a great job of, if I'm being honest about it, Secretary of State or whoever, they don't do a good enough job of reaching people to say to them, here's what's happening. I mean, everybody doesn't have a website. Everybody doesn't have access to internet. You have to meet your community where they are. So I would encourage our state leaders to spend some of that money they have, and I know that they have some, on culturally competent recruiting and educating of voters, regardless of political party. I think that's so important. And I've said that to them, so I feel very comfortable saying it here. Spend some of that money in this community and get these people out to vote. We deserve it. We should have it. Somebody just reminded me too that we have to make sure employers are giving people time off to vote, period. Making sure that everyone, especially your essential workers, overwhelmingly represented in this community, we need them to have the time off to vote, whatever day they choose to vote. You don't have to follow the rules, right? The rules are just your baseline. That's your lowest. So as an employer, be better than that. Let your folks off on the first day, second day, let them go vote. Forward document, you will find that many things that are being pushed now are things that this community has been begging for years. Affordable housing, real real affordable housing. We have a crisis. We have 6,000 homeless children in this community. We've got to do more. We've got to push Metro Council to do more. We've got to push the mayor to do more. We've got to push everybody to do more. And I'll tell you what I said on social media. I have worked for the government and I didn't do enough. I did what I could, where I could, but it wasn't enough, and it's still not enough. We have to do more. All of us, everybody, it's all of our problems. Investing in small black businesses. Black people have dreams like everybody else. We haven't seen those kinds of investments. Closing the achievement gap. Listen, we are in a pandemic. JCPS, Louisville Metro government, and everybody else is going to have to be nimble to respond to that. The way we begin to really close that achievement gap is by successful education. We're not doing enough. I'll take a minute and let y'all fix that. We need to do more. So the things that you've heard, and I didn't read the whole list, but I understand it. I've heard the conversation, and I know what it really is about are the things that these nonprofit organizations and others do very well, and people have been giving us pennies to do. We have been using Band-Aids for things that need surgery. If you know your community has been redlined, you have got to respond with financial compensation. That's the way it works. So we can revitalize the West End, but we have to do it with intentionality around black ownership. And all of that is tied to voting. Your voice matters. Who we put in office matters. They should be aware and care about our issues.
Sadiq, legal observers accompany the protests a lot to make sure that things are done right, especially when there's a big direct action. Will there be legal observers of some sort at the polling places?
There will be legal observers, and we had legal observers available for the primary as well. And there is an organization, Linda, do you remember the name? Do you have it handy? I can't. Protect the Vote. Protect the Vote will be here and paying very close attention. And so yes, thank you for that question. Others? Anybody?
Is there also still a push to get younger voters, those who are going for the first time, and what kind of either new steps or steps we taken with this movement to get their votes?
There is absolutely a push for younger voters. Normally, the Urban League and our partners, we would go into the schools and we would register those young voters. Obviously, with COVID-19, we weren't in the schools, so we're concerned about making sure that anybody who's turned 18 and is ready to vote gets registered and knows. So we're asking parents, please, to make sure your young people are registered to vote. Let's make sure we get them there to vote. They too can do the mail-in ballot, or and then take it and drop it off, or they can go with us for the caravan on the 13th to vote. And we'll have that caravan on the 13th and also on Saturdays that the polls are open. We'll have music in the parking lot. We think we're trying hard to attract those young voters because we know that they are very, very important. And I think Nicole will lead us in the charge to recruiting some younger folks to make sure they're spreading the word. Because let's just be honest. I mean, to be alive right now is complicated, and you don't necessarily feel so hopeful if you're 18 years old in America and you're dealing with all of this. It's a lot, and so it is on us to say to our young people that we haven't done enough, we haven't been good enough. And in order for us to be the country that we really do need to be, we need your voice, we need you engaged, and you have the right to protest. Your rage is righteous, but take that also to the polls. That's what we should say constantly to our young people. We need you to guide us because we've been in charge, and this is what we've given you. It's not good enough. We need you. All right, thank you all so much for coming out. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the info to register to vote, is that all on your site as well?
Yes, and everything to register to vote, everything you need is on our site. The